Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. We're going to go ahead and jump in. First, I already primed my face with MAC's Prep and Prime primer, and then I went over and sprayed SmashBox primer water over the top to add some extra hydration and help the foundation adhere better and stick and stay for longer because we're doing a full face tonight. So, I used Urban Decay Naked Skin Finish Foundation N3.0 and I applied that with a beauty blender. I think this color is just a little dark for what I am right now because it's been winter time and now it's spring, but the sun's still not out. So I think it's a little bit darker than what I am right now, but it blended into my neck, so it worked out just fine. And I'm doing two different layers because the first layer I find is not enough of coverage. I want a little bit extra, especially because I'm doing a full night glam for a date night. Or for any kind of event that you want to have a little bit more makeup on or look a little bit more polished. Next, I'm going in with MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer and the shade I don't know because I don't remember. Also, I think this is still a little bit too dark for me for what I currently am, but again, blending it out makes it work and it worked just fine. So I'm putting that on first because I want to cover up any dark circles or any discoloration. And then I'm actually going to go over the top with Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Fair, and it's the neutral one. And I put that under my eyes, my nose, my forehead, and my chin to bring lightness to the face so that the face will have more depth. And I'm blending that in with the small side of the Beauty Blender because you can really get the product up underneath the eye when you use the smaller side of the Beauty Blender, and you have more control when you're using the smaller side versus the bigger side because the bigger side is going to spread it more, and this way you can really control kind of where you want that product to be and where it's going to end up. So you're going to just keep blending that in, and you're going to see it's like really light, but once we just finish doing the rest of the face, it'll work out and it'll blend together and come together. And I like to go over the top with the bigger side of the Beauty Blender, which is what I did with the side that I used with the foundation to, again, blend more. Next, I'm using the Beauty Blender and going ahead dipping straight into my the MAC translucent powder, and putting that under the eyes in a really thick layer, my nose, my chin, and my forehead. And you're going to look real sexy for a while, so leave it on, and I decided to leave it on and do my brows. I did my brows off camera because they take a while, so if you want to check that out, check out some of my other videos, and it shows how I do that. So I'm going to use a MAC 129 big fluffy brush, dipped into medium golden, and brush off all the translucent powder and just get my whole face set with a powder. I'm going to go straight into contouring, and I'm going to use MAC's Angled Brush 168, and I'm using Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette and the shades Sombre and Subconcious. I'm going to put that underneath in the hollows of my cheek, underneath my cheekbones, under my chin to try and hide some of that double chin action I've got going on, around the jawline again to slim the face, and around the hairline to slim the face. And contour so sharp you can cut a bitch. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a MAC Duo Fiber brush with the banana powder from the Shade and Light palette to, again, just kind of bring back that color underneath the eye and put a little bit under the contour so that it pops a little bit more. Not that we need it to pop anymore. Alright, so I'm using a really big fluffy brush and MAC's blush in Blush All Day in Eternal Sun, just because I didn't feel like working at the blush for a really long time, and a really fluffy brush blends out really fast and disperses product really fast, so that's why I went ahead and was like, you know what, I'm just going to use a really big brush, and kind of medium, warm-toned colors just to give my face a little bit more color, and I like to do a kind of neutral and maybe on the warm side when to bring in everything since we're doing more gold tones on the eyes. Then I'm using a big fan brush and Becca's Pressed Highlight in Moonstone. I put that on the tops of my cheeks, my nose, my Cupid's bow, and a little bit up on my eyebrows just to get that glow going. Alright, jumping onto eyes. So we're going to prep the eyes using MAC Paint Pot and Soft Ochre. And then I'm all over the lid, I'm going to use MAC's Blanc Type, which is a matte shadow, and it's close to my skin tone, and I like to start with that just as a really even base for me to put more eyeshadows on. I'm going to use a U-shaped flat brush, otherwise known as like a packing brush, with a medium tone warm brown all over the lid, not going into the crease. I'm using the shades Transition and Are You Kidding Me from the Violet Voss palette. And I'm going to go ahead and pack those colors on to get a nice base. And then I'm going to take a fluffy dome brush, and softly bend out the edges on the crease because we don't want any harsh edges, but I also don't want too much color going up into the crease. And then I went ahead and highlighted the inner corner of my eye and under my brow bone with the shade Crystal, again from the Violet Voss palette, because I was kind of done with this section, so I was like, why not? And you could do that really at the end or whenever, really. And I'm using MAC 242 brush, another packing brush with Awesome Sauce first, and then over the top with Toffee, both from the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. And I'm pushing those in to get some extra dimension, and that Toffee color is a really, really nice pigment. It almost looks like a pressed pigment, and it has a really great sheen when you come out, so it just really pretty, really sparkly, and it gives a nice glow, and I really like the shade too. It's kind of a more burnt gold, if you will. And then underneath the eye, I'm using MAC's eyeliner in Coffee on the bottom lash line with a flat square brush using Teddy Bear from the Violet Voss palette and blending that out. And then I'm going ahead and lining the lids with the MAC eyeliner Coffee. And to help me do that, I am using the Beauty Blender to kind of pull my skin taut, even though you're not really supposed to do that, but I didn't want to touch my face because that would pick up the product, so using the Beauty Blender kind of helps to not, it would be like using a puff. I also use a pencil brush underneath the eyes to help blend out that shadow and that eyeliner. And then I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes, put a little bit of mascara on, and get ready to use some falsies. Alright, so I'm using Ardell Lashes, and it's number 105. They're the glamour lashes because I wanted something a little bit more glamorous, a little bit more there because, again, kind of date night, so I really wanted to romanticize the eyes and play up the eyes a lot because that's kind of the main focus, even though the face is super snatched too. So I like to use flat-sided tweezers. I would not use pointy-sided tweezers on my eye because that sounds like a recipe for disaster. But I use flat-sided tweezers because it really helps you get the lashes where they need to be in terms of positioning and whatever else. And you also want to wait 30 to 45 seconds after you put the I like to use duo adhesive on the lashes because you really want it to get tacky so that when you place it, that it sticks and it doesn't get all over your eyelid, which is not fun. All right, on to lips, the last step. So I'm going to prep the lips with Anastasia Beverly Hills primer, and I'm using this no bleed, no color liner to keep the lipstick in, and I'm actually going in with MAC's lipstick in shade Fusion Pink, and it's like a pinky red, and it has a little bit of like an orangey glitter, and I'm going over the top of that with this a MAC gloss in Courtly Coral, again to kind of bring out some of those coral tones and glittery tones in the lipstick. And I spritz over everything with Fix Plus to kind of help meld everything together. And there we go. So I really hope you enjoyed this date night glowy gold look. Thank you for watching. Bye.